This video today is going to talk about a couple things. One, the different types of weapons that you can put on your robot. Two, how are we going to wire those? And three, the difference between a button and a switch. So I'm going to open up Robot Arena here. And when I do, I'm going to go in to my team. I've got a couple that are preset in here with weapons on but not wired yet. So I'm going to go to team headquarters and I'm going to come into this one right here. So right now I've got kind of two sets of weapons on. Okay, I've got kind of some stabbing type weapons with the burst pistons. So I would put the burst pistons in, I would tip them with a weapon, and then secondly I have a motor with a disc attached with different different weapons attached to it, the spike club. I have to wire those differently. Okay, they don't work on their own. So when I go into wiring, I have a choice of a button or a switch. Well, these two are two different things. If you think about a switch, think about a light switch. Things stay on when they're turned on until that switch is turned off. Well, that's the same thing with this guy right here. I want to put it on a switch because I want it to stay on for a long period of time until I turn it off. Okay, so when I pull that in, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to just say fire on this one, and then my on off switch is going to be a key on the keyboard that I need to press. Well, I want it to be, let's say I'm going to have it be the right shift button. You can see it's shift right. It's not wired yet. I need to click on the motor and then it says switch on when right shift. Well, it's not going to do anything right now. I'm going to change it to either clockwise or counterclockwise. Doesn't really matter. It's just going to turn on and spin one direction or another. So if I test it right now with my right shift, it should turn on, and it does. Okay, I'm going to turn that back off. A button, if you think about a button, usually when you press a button, something happens. Well, that's the same thing here, and we want our burst pistons to be on a button. So I'm going to put here fire, and then the on-off, I want it to be the space bar. Okay. Now I don't need to put a button in for each one of these. I can hook them up all to this same button. So if I just click on the button once, it gives you the choice of fire and fire again. So if I do this to all of these right here, it will, excuse me, got one more, and you'll see again when it's wired, you have the green line. And you will see that when I hit the space bar, they come out. So they turn on and they turn off. Okay, versus that's a button versus turning on, staying on until I hit that same button again, and then it will slowly come off. If you do use the burst pistons, you have to put a CO2 tank in. That is in the power. Okay. Box here, and you have to put those in. Does that have to be wired? No, it does not. Okay.